Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Dr. Sharita Warfield, board certified emergency medicine and lifestyle medicine physician, certified life coach, and the author of Get Informed, a guidebook for recently diagnosed diabetics and their loved ones. I am honored to be here on this World Diabetes Day, a day that brings global attention to a disease that affects millions, but also a day of hope and action. I wrote this book and created today's presentation because too many of us in our communities of color are suffering in silence from diabetes. You see, people are scared, confused, or even overwhelmed after they receive their diagnoses. And oftentimes their family members don't know how to help. But here's the truth. With the right knowledge and support, diabetes does not have to define you. It can become the turning point to reclaiming your health and your power. So let's start with the basics. What is diabetes? What exactly is diabetes? Well, in simple terms, diabetes is a condition where the body either doesn't make enough insulin or can't use it effectively. So insulin is the hormone that helps the sugar move from your bloodstream into your cells, where we then use it for energy. When the process doesn't work right, sugar stays in the bloodstream, and then over time, it causes damage to your heart, your kidneys, your eyes, and your nerves. Kind of think of insulin as the key and your cells as doors. In diabetes, either the key is missing or the lock is jammed. Now let's talk about why this matters, especially in our communities of color. According to the CDC, over 37 million Americans have diabetes, and about 1 in 5 don't even know they have it. Among African Americans, the rate is nearly 60% higher than in white populations. Hispanic and Native American communities are also disproportionately affected. But what's even more concerning, we're being diagnosed younger, often while we're balancing work, family, and financial stress. And we're facing even more complication. That is why awareness and early detection are so critical. We can't fix what we don't face, but we can change what we do understand. As I always say, when we know better, we can do better. So how do you know if you or someone you love may have diabetes? Here are some of the common signs and symptoms. They may have frequent urination, especially at night. You feel thirsty all the time, unexplained extreme fatigue. You might have blurry vision, or they may complain of floaters in their visual fields. You might also notice that you get a cut, nick, or scrape, and it takes longer for it to heal. And then unexplained weight loss. Sometimes the signs are very subtle, and that's the danger, because people assume, oh, it's just stress, age, or even due to fatigue. But if any of these symptoms sound familiar, get yourself tested, because a simple blood test could save your life. Let's talk about some of the complications, because when left uncontrolled, diabetes can silently damage your body. It increases the risk for heart attack and stroke, kidney failure, nerve damage, which leads to pain or numbness, vision loss, and even blindness, poor circulation, and limb amputation. But here's the empowering part. Many of these complications are preventable. Through education, lifestyle changes, and consistent follow-up, we can dramatically reduce these risks. You know, I spent decades in the emergency department, seeing people come in with diabetic emergencies, blood sugars through the roof, infections, strokes, amputations, and all too often I heard the same heartbreaking words. Nobody ever explained it to me, Doc. That's why I wrote Get Informed, so that it could be the guide I wish every patient and every family member had the day that they were diagnosed. Full disclosure, my mother was a type 2 diabetic, and she poorly controlled her disease. She suffered from the complications of losing her eyesight at age 57. She lost function of both of her kidneys and had to have both of her legs amputated. She suffered from these complications for 11 years before passing away, 3 days after her birthday and 2 days before mine. So this book is dedicated to her, and I use her testimony to hopefully inspire others. You see, this book breaks down the medical jargon into plain English with real life stories, tips, action steps, and it teaches you how to understand your numbers, your hemoglobin A1C, your glucose, your cholesterol, your blood pressure. It helps you to build healthy meals without giving up flavor. It teaches you how to move your body in ways that fit your lifestyle. Also teaching you how to recognize warning signs before emergencies happen. And it allows you to support a loved one living with diabetes. You see, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. You know, it is known that in many of our families, diabetes feels like a life sentence. My mom had it, my grandma had it, so I'm bound to get it, is what people often say. I too am a type 2 diabetic. But that's not the full story. Yes, genetics play a role, but so does environment, access, and awareness. We can't change our genes or where we came from, but we can change our habits, our choices, and our support systems, which play a major role in the management of diabetes. That's what I mean when I say get informed. Because when you understand your condition, you can take control of it instead of letting it control you. So on this World Diabetes Day, I want to challenge you. If you're living with diabetes, commit to learning something new today about your body and your health. If you're supporting a loved one, commit to being their cheerleader and not their critic. Because it's hard living with diabetes. You have to make an active choice every day. So don't criticize them, cheer them on. And if you're a healthcare provider, community leader, or advocate, then commit to using your voice to make prevention and education accessible in all our neighborhoods. Because every small step, every informed decision moves us closer to healthier families and stronger communities. So I thank you so much for spending this time with me. If you found this helpful, I invite you to grab a copy of my book, Get Informed, a guidebook for recently diagnosed diabetics and their loved ones. It's available by clicking the link below. It's more than just a book. It's a roadmap to hope, healing, and empowerment. Together, we can rewrite the story of diabetes in our communities, one informed choice at a time. So stay well, stay empowered, and remember, you're not alone on this journey. I'm Dr. Sharita Warfield. Happy World Diabetes Day. Thank you.